driveway has been blocked off and on for the past several days. Garth's mess is spreading. Not only is it unsightly, but our driveway is now blocked or partially blocked on a regular basis. We were very hopeful after we received your email at the end of November, but the area is now as bad as ever. Code enforcement complaint intake form. Nature of violation: non-operable vehicles, motorcycles, shopping carts, general junk. Letter to Jim Robertson, Code Enforcement Officer. It is a junkyard, complete with unleashed and unlicensed patrolling dogs. We ask that you please take steps to abate the property, as our neighbors obviously have no intention of complying with the county codes themselves.
The lazy suburb of La Mesa skirts the eastern edge of San Diego and keeps a polite distance from the city's more lively neighborhoods. Its contributions to civilization include such unremarkable offerings as the semi-enclosed shopping mall, the Cineplex, and a giant white cross atop a publicly owned hilltop, a symbolic tribute to the medieval shotgun marriage of the church to the state. Yet within this cultural desert, there has emerged a project that could alter the course of modern art. Alto Drive is a thin band of pavement that winds its way down the aforementioned La Mesa hillside. Every few hundred feet, Alto absent-mindedly spits out asphalt rivulets that lead to scattered dwellings that range in stature from lavish to languid. Near the end of Alto Drive's journey, it tosses off a concrete and gravel driveway that leads to the home of the Gaskell family, a self-described clan of liberal intellectuals who maintain a bewildering and disconnected schedule of professional pursuits. The landscape surrounding their Spanish Appalachian domicile is an oasis of chaos. Surrounding the house itself are a web of tile walkways, a pair of disused sheds, and assorted trees, boulders, bushes, and wildflowers. But it is the entrance to this property, the Gaskell family's driveway and automotive staging area, that provokes our interest. All along this stretch of land lie a menagerie of metal and rubber auto parts, along with other miscellaneous debris. Some of these objects have a real market value, whereas others might require payment for their removal. The offerings include steering wheels, hubcaps, mufflers, fenders, bumpers, perhaps an engine, and the undead skeletons of vehicles that haunt what appears to the untrained eye to be an automotive graveyard, an unsettling resting place for fragments of broken chariots who once carried their drivers to jobs that have since disappeared, friends long forgotten, and homes twice resold.
San Diego County Code, Abandoned Vehicle Abatement. The accumulation of abandoned, wrecked, or dismantled vehicles or parts is hereby found to create a condition tending to reduce the value of private property. Department of Planning and Land Use Administrative Citation. Corrections required. Remove all junk, trash, and vehicle parts. Remove all inoperable vehicles. Discontinue all vehicle repairs. Notice of violation. Failure to comply is punishable with fines of up to a maximum of $1,000 and/or 6 months imprisonment for each day the violation continues.
This residential junkyard aspires to rise above its humble station, and though I cannot be certain, I believe that it does so. To understand how, it is necessary to reflect briefly on the ever-changing methods by which we define art. At one time, despotic rulers said what was and was not art. When art became a profession, the art instructor was appointed the task of discerning whether a student's work was artistic. Artists eventually liberated themselves from their masters and made their own judgments as to whether their products were worthy entries. Later, the art critic arrived to liberate art from the artist, pronouncing that only a gifted critic could distinguish masterpiece from mere rubbish. It was not long before the critics realized that they could discover works of art that were never intended to be art. This notion of found art led to the discovery of artistic jewels that had previously gone unnoticed. We must now liberate art from not only the ruler, the teacher, and the artist, but also from the critic. This final step permits the realization that an object or action may, by its very essence, constitute a piece of art. I call these works simply essential art. Our first glimpse of this new world of artistic expression is the La Mesa scrap heap. I shall call this work the Alto-Auto installation. This piece brings closer together the worlds of art and autos. Even the most hardened art critics have come to acknowledge that the garish airbrushed murals that adorned vans in the 1970s have given way to the ironic kitsch art of the new generation of self-conscious lowriders. Selected chrome auto parts have received acclaim for their elegant design and their false promise of a sleek, well-conceived modernity. But the recognition of auto parts as art is still new, and the Alto-Auto installation offers the viewer nothing more than auto parts. Beyond the originality of its materials, this daring new work presents a methodological innovation of which young artists might take note. There still exists in the creative community an unhealthy dualism between the artistic installation and the artistic performance. Some new offerings have begun with an installation, which is then altered through a performance to leave a reshaped piece for continued viewing. But no artist has gone as far as the Alto-Auto installation, which seamlessly blends product and process. Each day, parts may appear or disappear with no intended artistic purpose. And each day, persons and animals, both welcome and unwelcome, traipse through this piece. There is no scheduled performance, and there is no resistance to the ravages of nature on rusting metal and disintegrating rubber. It is hard to predict whether there will be celebration or mourning when whole pieces leave the installation in the beds of trucks, or on special occasions by their own means of locomotion. What was in the driveway one day may not be there the next. One point of the Alto-Auto installation is to encourage the release of expectation, freeing oneself to embrace the wreck that is the present day and the dream that is the impossible tomorrow.
The Gastons bought the house, 9435 Alto Drive, on January 14th, 1963. Our new neighbors, the Parks, came in March 2000. They began complaining about us almost immediately. Many of their complaints are untrue. Many are exaggerated. Some are frivolous, even trivial. There's a pattern of obsessive exaggeration. We intend to be good neighbors. We are working on meeting the park's requirement of strict compliance with the zoning code. Garth is moving his automotive parts. This is hard on Garth, who likes to work on cars and has no other place to do so.
The final lesson taught by this mechanical mentor is one that concerns not the smaller community of artists, but the larger modern world. We've stumbled on our march to the imagined techno-utopia, but the Western world continues to cling to the fantasy of the aseptic future in which an information economy lifts us up above the sweat and grime of the working world and sets us down on synthetic leather couches to watch interactive programming that both represents and constitutes our perfect lives. Some of those who labored at Microsoft from its earliest days have entered this impossibly complete dream life. The Earth itself is invisible to the content provider who telecommutes effortlessly from home, or the intellectual property lawyer who glides to work in a silent vehicle still less than 10,000 miles from its birthplace. To such a person, the Alto-Auto installation must seem an affront, a careless display of antiquated pipes, gears, tubing, and metal sheets. What purpose could these relics possibly serve? What cataclysm placed them within a vigorous stroll of one's otherwise pristine residence? To these questions, the Alto-Auto installation says, "Behold, I am here, and I am needed. If not needed, then at least my removal demands physical exertion. Through its noisy parade of broken dreams and hidden promises, this village of the damned cries out on behalf of a neglected planet. See me! Touch me! Heal me!"